I'm Grady.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Charisse.
And welcome to Highlights, a show where we recap a reality competition show, usually a drag one, like it's sports, even though it's not. This season, we're covering season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And this is it. We're finally freaking done with the longest season ever. And I couldn't be more happy about it, to be honest with you. But what a ride it's been. So, tonight, we are covering the grand finale. We just got done watching it in real time and reacting to the winner in real time. Though I think we all pretty much knew how that was going to go, which is fine. I feel like I know exactly what's about to happen. Oh my God.
America's next drag superstar is
Knew it. I knew it. Oh my God. Wow. So we're going to do just a general discussion and review kind of the final lineup, and we'll be absolutely done with season 14. That's crazy. All right. So getting into it. Grand finale from the Flamingo, the stage of Drag Race Live. What are your thoughts to this finale?
Well, I think it had everything that, the finale typically has. Everyone looked great. I think everyone was very Vegas themed, which was kind of cool.
Yes.
Some were a little lackluster, I thought, but some looked great. I think you pointed out that their entrance looks were the same as their red carpet looks, so we kind of already knew what everyone looked like, so that was less surprising.
Yeah, and I feel like I have to double check. I don't feel like they did do that last time, but it's fine. Everybody looked great though, I thought. So.
Yeah, everyone looked great. We just didn't have that instant surprise, like, oh, it's a new look I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Fantastic, and the venue was great. I had everything I wanted.
I'd have to agree. It was nice that they changed the format a little bit. It was nice that there was a different theater and background, and obviously if the stage is already set up for RuPaul Live, then it just kind of makes sense to have the finale there, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I mean, RuPaul as a host was kind of awkward. I'm not really sure what was going on.
Why didn't she move?
I don't know. And I honestly, it was a talking point amongst us for a minute. And then as soon as Simone came out and I actually got to see what a real life human body looks like walking on the stage, and hosting, I was oh yeah. Oh, that body, the whole thing was then thinking back about it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's awkward.
Yeah. I was ready for Simone's Drag Race, to be honest.
You guys, this was the prototype for RuPaul's animatronic that they're going to feature in the next season of Drag Race.
It had to be. It felt like we were in that catwalk video and that RuPaul was somewhere else.
Absolutely.
We filmed on different days, and RuPaul was in her bathroom somewhere with a green screen. Yeah.
So we got a format change, which was cool, but it wasn't a new format. We went back to an old one, which was the same one they did for season, let's say 8, maybe. I'll have to fact check that. But they're each lip syncing a song that was originally written and composed for them. And they perform individually. So we're not doing a tournament. We didn't do a tournament. And I kind of missed the wheel. I missed the wheel, guys.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would do a lip sync tournament. I don't really know why they didn't. I mean, it was nice to see each perform in their own element, but also without that competitive edge, it was a little lackluster within the same breath.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the vibe of the whole season when you think of it. kind of seemed a little to lack that competitive edge the whole season. So maybe it was very fitting. I don't know.
Yeah. I looked it up. It was season 8 that they did that on. But I guess it's just a casualty of having 5 people in the finale and the odd number, which they were dead set on doing. They're okay. They just felt really short, very brief. I don't know.
So honestly, I read it more as a RuPaul's trying to figure out like who's going to do the best performance wise. RuPaul's always about the performance, and she wants the gags to come off well. She wants the reveals to happen properly. She wants the props to be practiced with. Like these things are important to her. So I feel like it made sense to critique them each individually, because then you can really, really put the magnifying glass on every single person, as opposed to having to watch and balance between a lip sync and watching 2 of them perform at the same time.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but with the point of the lip sync competition, I totally agree with what you said, Charisse, but the point of a lip sync competition, though, is one is normally clearly a more shining star than the other, which is the whole point, right? So, which would be why they would move on to compete against the next person.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I totally agree, but I watched thousands of weeks of the show this year and no one went home. So
Right.
like the format completely just got blown out of the water, just like completely this season. And like,
Watching them all individually perform, I felt like there was a clear top 2. So I guess that's what I was kind of missing. Was I never really felt surprised by this finale at any point, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Except at the end. I was surprised at the end.
Were you?
Well, I guess more like I knew the top 2 were who we all thought they were going to be. That's why I think the beginning of the finale was kind of not boring, but also like, okay, let's just get through this.
Yeah.
But I was really hoping it would have gone the other way. I really thought Lady Camden deserved to.
I agree. And again, reviewing the stats, you know, Lady Camden performed the best overall, frankly. Technically, if you did it that way, she's in first place going into this grand finale. I really think it should have gone to her. Willow technically is in third. But that being said, performance-wise and artistically, I did feel they were the 2 strongest.
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I wasn't, pardon me, I wasn't that upset either way. I would have been happy as long as certain people were not in the last 2. Because that's happened to me a few season finales ago, where I was like, oh, for sure, it's going to be this person and this person. And then the wheel happens and I'm like, no. And then the lip sync happens and I'm like, no. And then the winner happens and I'm like, no.
Was
So
there
this
any
season,
picture you didn't want to see in the top 2, Charisse?
I mean, my short list obviously would be Diabetes. And honestly, I don't think Bosco did well enough to win this season. Not that I don't love Bosco, because I do.
Completely agree. I 100% agree.
But that, I just don't think Diabetes would be a good winner. I don't think it would look
Go
good
on.
her.
I'm just kidding.
The first we've heard of this.
But I mean, like, in terms of like what it would do to her ego and her attitude and those things, like, I think it would just make all of the things that kind of annoyed me on the show really like expand a lot. I'm not saying that I know her personally, because obviously I don't. And I'm not saying that she isn't more of a well-rounded person than what I see edited on this show. I'm just saying that, like, based on what I saw on the show, she wouldn't be my pick.
Yeah, I could see that. I will say I really enjoyed Bosco's lip sync. Is that wrong? Am I?
No,
Is that an unpopular opinion?
Was good, but it's the same problem that I had with Bosco's performances throughout the season, where it was like you start at like 100% and there's nowhere to go, so it's hard to like get the story that he's telling or she's telling.
Yeah.
With
because, and I was debating this in my head, and I know you two are gonna disagree with me, but I liked it better than Angeria's.
I
know.
Disagree with that.
I loved Angeria's. It had a lot of energy. But one, I feel like the song they wrote for her is just a sequel to the one she did for her talent show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they gave her a lot of choreo, knowing that's not her thing. And then she didn't nail it. And I don't know. It was okay. It felt like there was a lot more to it than Bosco's, but Bosco's artistically I felt way more connected to than Angeria's.
It kind of felt like the sole purpose of Angeria's number was to open the show. And then that was the last bit of Angeria that we were
That's true. And I mentioned I wondered if the lineup was kind of strategic. And I think now that you say that, I wonder if maybe that was it.
Yeah. That's kind of what it felt like. And it kind of like, in my mind, the way the performances came out were kind of the way they were ranked.
Yeah.
As who was going to win, with the exception of Camden and Willow.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see what else happened. What were your thoughts about Miss Congeniality? Because I knew it was going to be Cornbread and Deja Sky, and I remember us talking about that during the reunion. However, I was kind of sad Deja didn't get it.
Okay, right? Like this made like no sense to me. Now, this could just be the way I understand. Are they there? The eliminated queens, are they there the entire season after they're eliminated?
They're in the hotel. Yes.
So then that might explain why they may have chosen Cornbread, because if it's voted on by the queens and if she's still there to influence them and interact with them and that kind of stuff, okay, I guess I understand that. But from an audience perspective, it makes zero sense.
Yeah. I really think it should have been Deja, and I think maybe it's just between the two, Cornbread was more popular with the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
But as Charisse and Bobby pointed out, she was awful to Jasmine in those early episodes.
Well, I have a feeling Jasmine probably voted for Deja.
Yeah.
Just a hunch.
That's like no one else took that into consideration from the cast, and they're all just like, oh yeah, that's fine. Everyone treats Jasmine like crap. So
yeah. Let's see. But that being said, I mean, she did win, so I'm not gonna take it. It's not like she doesn't deserve it, I guess. I shouldn't say she doesn't deserve it. I just felt like the two obvious contenders for it were Deja and Cornbread, and I just felt like Deja was more congenial throughout the entire thing. That's just me.
I also could have seen Colby getting it.
Yeah, and I wonder if she got some votes, especially from the trans people she created.
She created for her army.
Yeah. With her golden trans hand.
Inevitable.
Yeah. But Cornbread got $10,000, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And Lala Ree got to present at a grand finale, which was cool for her. I didn't love how she looked, I'll be honest. But it's not my taste, I guess. But she did announce that everybody got a winning check of $2,000. So and nobody's leaving the season completely empty-handed without any winnings. So the least people got was at least $2,000, which is not bad. Plus, again, the booking fees they get for filming each episode that they are on, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of cool.
It pays to be on RuPaul's Drag Race.
It really does. And I bet several of them are now on retainer for Drag Race Live coming up in various cohorts.
That's because losing is a new winning.
Losing is the new winning. Which, by the way, we got that cool performance by Drag Race Live, the cast. And they performed that bit. It's a bit from Drag Race Live, which is a really cool number. But I enjoyed that. And the season 14 queens got to be a part of the finale of that number, which is nice.
Their audition.
So who was the queen that looked dead inside? Really big blonde hair, gold cat suit in the losing is the new winning. Like, I recognized everybody else. It was Derek Barry, Naomi Smalls.
It's you're probably thinking.
Was it Coco Montrese?
No, she is part of the cast. I did not see her in that number, but Kahana Montrese is.
That was
probably the person you're thinking of.
faceless. Yes. You'd think if you were performing in front of your boss, you'd give it just a tiny bit more.
I don't know how much her face can move.
Oh, okay. She's one of those. Okay.
I do believe she is.
I totally forget sometimes that the queens are on Drag Race, and then the next time you see them, they're so Botoxed out they can't react to anything.
Exactly.
And I'm not here to judge. Do as you will with what you want. Be safe. That's all I have to say.
Be safe. Look at some Yelps for your doctors.
Doctors are certified by the American Board of Medical Association. You could look them up before you do surgery. I'm just saying, find you a good one. Don't play with your life.
Do your research.
So, I mean, we've been talking about the top two. So I want to mention Angeria Bosco and Diabetti real quick because they ended up finishing. They got eliminated at the same time. So they're 5th, 4th, and 3rd place adjacent. All sharing all 3 spots.
It's so weird how there is no ladder this year to like climb to the top of RuPaul's Drag Race. It's more of like a circus tent.
Yeah.
Unfun.
And it's crazy to think because it was a while ago now, but the last 2 people that were eliminated were Georges and Daisha Sky, who also got eliminated at the same time and were 7th and 6th place adjacent. A lot of tie eliminations. But as expected, Lady Camden and Willow Pill were our top 2. I gotta say, so in the final lip sync that they went head to head, what were your thoughts on it? So I'm curious.
It was honestly pretty neck and neck from my perspective. Willow does have a certain personality that comes out when she lip syncs, though, that I think is a little more charming and can tend to be a little show-stopping. I feel like Camden was doing a lot of leaning into a lot of her like dance experience, which may have worked against her, and her reveal was probably not enough to really push it over. But if I'm being honest, the decision was probably made before the lip sync.
That's true. I did feel like there was a clear winner. That's just me. Willow just seemed so overly prepared and completely conceptualized exactly what she was going to do. Not that Lady Camden didn't, it just wasn't at the same level. And then she leaned very heavily into her Freddie Mercury moment, which is fine, but it's a reveal we've already seen now, one. And then two, it didn't go as smooth this time as it did last time because her wig got caught in her crown that she was wearing. So she got a little fuzzled. And I think that really hurt her in the end.
Yes, I do agree with you, Grady. I feel like Willow Pill definitely conceptualizes the entire thing. She's very careful with her movement, which as someone who is physically disabled, I totally understand that. You have to be really careful about how you use your body and when you use your body. And if you're going to be a performer and your physical strength is limited for one reason or another, you need to be really strategic about how you move and when you move and what kind of props and how they can help you out. And it totally cracked me up that Willow had the entire oversized suit on, and that when she took the jacket off, that it was the pants.
Just the pants.
Like, I was cracking
Genius.
up. And then to know that there was another reveal underneath that, I was like, oh my goodness, the way that her brain works. She just takes me on this ride, and then we go even further, and I'm like, whoa.
I just felt, and I just felt like comparatively then it really hurt Camden because then, you know, Willow's doing all these crazy stuff and then Camden's twirling in her cape. You know, and I was like, Camden, no.
Yeah, that shot specifically, I think, was where she really fell behind, was where she just kind of twirled it a little bit and was like, this really isn't enough.
Yeah.
But to hear you say that, Willow wasn't even doing too much. Like, she didn't do a bunch of spins. She didn't, it was magic though. Magic. Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said about playing to what you're good at and what your strengths are. And I think Willow knows how to do that, but continually elevate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think Camden got there enough. But I would definitely be interested to see what she did, like for an All-Stars season, learning such lessons, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But on the bright side, she got $50,000.
She did. She got $50,000. And you know what? Let's just go to the scoreboard real quick because I'm finishing it up. Anyway, the Lady Camden won a total of $65,000, including the $50,000 she got for being runner-up, plus the money she got for her 3 challenge wins, all of that stuff. So good for her. Willow Pill, for winning, leaves with a total of $157,500 just in winnings.
Jeez.
And that's, I need to double check. I'm assuming they're being left out of the automatic 2,000 that everybody got.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a lot of change. Bosco leaves with $22,000. Diabetti leaves with $7,000. Angeria leaves with $14,500. Not bad. And I think I added in the $2,000 for them. So that's a lot of money. Good for them. Oh, and Rue got the key to the city.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Whatever. I will say, like, she is doing a lot for the Flamingo right now because the Flamingo's a historic Vegas hotel, but the Flamingo needs some TLC if you go and look at it right now. showing his age. They don't get a lot of traffic in there compared to what they used to. And Drag Race Live has really boosted that. So good for them.
Bingo.
And I bet Drag Race Live isn't going anywhere for a while.
Well, I bet the finale gets filmed there from now on. The audience looked like they were having a great time. There was bottle service, obviously. Everyone was super comfortable. You're not sitting in that stupid stadium seating where you're like, oh, hi, my elbow, your elbow. Oh, just kidding. I don't have enough room.
Hopefully next season is not as long.
You know, and I bet it will be. I have a feeling that's exactly what we're doing. Well, and that's pretty much it, guys.
Huzzah!
We are done. We're another season down. And we're a year into highlights. Isn't that crazy? We started with All Stars last year.
That is crazy.
So we're a full year down. Yes.
I thought so. I looked at the channel the other day and I thought so.
Yes. And including All Stars, Regular Drag Race, and Dragula. We've done 3 seasons of highlights within that year. Whoa, look at us go.
Congratulations, Willow Pill.
Yes,
Yeah.
Congrats. Willow definitely, we should probably say that more. Willow definitely deserves it. I've wanted Willow to win from the beginning. I was just disappointed when she stumbled a little bit and Camden really, really began to put the pedal to the metal. But I felt like it was too little too late, especially for the fans. And that's where she stumbled a little bit. But I think both definitely deserved it. And Willow Pill, especially in this finale, reminded everybody why she was a contender for that crown. And 100% deserves it. Congrats to her. I think she's going to be a fantastic winner. So good for her. Good for Willow Pill. Excited to see what she does with that. And excited to see her on a future winners season. Okay. All right. Well, if you'd like to check out any of our past coverage, so nice to say that now, past coverage of season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race, you can catch that here on the PG Media channel. We will be back for All Star 7, the winners season, coming up this May. Woohoo! And subscribe today so you don't miss out. You can also follow PG Media on social media, and you can find that information in the description below. And with that being said, as always,
Thank you for watching highlights.
And we'll see you next time.